Hello, everyone. The clip you're about to hear is from one of our exclusive Patreon episodes on a recent horror release, and just like all of our other episodes, it might include major spoilers for said horror release, so don't listen to it if you haven't already seen it. You've officially been warned. And if you'd like to hear the full episode, just head on over to patreon.com/horrorqueers and subscribe today. Without further ado, here is your exclusive Patreon clip.
Yes, shout out to Blackspot FX who did all of the authentic looking organs, including a full-on body cast for David Cronenberg so that they could do this autopsy thing in the final episode.
The poop.
I fucking loved it. Apparently this is based on a Japanese film suggested to the production by Sam Zimmerman at Shudder. So if folks are interested in the poop and like going through organs, it's a Japanese movie called Live Bait.
If you're interested in the poop, there you go.
If you're interested in the poop, subtitle for this episode.
But yeah, no, I mean, overall, I really, really enjoyed this. And I really, I feel like we've been getting so many slasher type series lately. I mean, we've had Scream, we've had this. I mean, I'll go back to Harper's Island back in 2011, 2010.
Yes, because we were very excited when this one got announced because we thought, oh my god, it's a slasher series set on a fucking island. We're getting Harper's Island again.
Yep. But that being said, though, I said at the top of the episode, a lot of the reason that people go see slashers is, we want to go for the kills. And a lot of times slashers are 80 to 90 minutes long, unless you're Scream, which are 2 hours. And but this is, 7 to 8 hours of a slasher. So you have to fill in the dead air between kills with character development. And I think this is a show that does it really, really well. I didn't feel like there was too much filler in this.
Yeah, I agree with you mostly. There were a couple of times, particularly as we got into the later episodes, because we had spent a lot of time with some of these characters, that I wasn't sure if we were really learning that much new about them. I think that was where I was missing some of the Netflix style approach, where it's like, does this episode need to be 45 to 50 minutes, or could it be 30 minutes and just really tight?
Yeah, good point.
Because all of these episodes are fitting into a very traditional television length model. But overall, I think, they've got a good handle, particularly the use of flashbacks. It could be considered a bit of a crutch, but I think they're employing them in such a way that we're getting enough of a character background. Yeah, I mean, I think that this is probably a good model. I'd be surprised to see other shows that don't do this. Like we mentioned Harper's Island, we're both fans of that show. They don't use a lot of flashbacks, and a lot of their characters feel very thinly, almost stretched, where you think, okay, that's the sheriff, that's the boyfriend.
I mean, that's how they marketed it too. Like the marketing was like a poster of all the characters with their stereotype or one like their caricature below it.
And really, that one was one that lived and died on the villain reveal, and if you don't buy it, then the whole series doesn't really work for you.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. But, I can see, though, like hardcore horror fans looking at something like this or, any other slasher series and being like, oh, it's basically a soap opera, but like with some kills added in, or it's too, I don't know, wordy.
Yeah, because that was actually one of the criticisms that plagued Harper's Island back in the day, was that there were too many characters off the top, so we didn't get to know any of them. And it seemed like they were only killing one person each episode. So people were just living and dying for that single kill each episode.
Yeah.
Then you start to get into narrative problems, right? It's like, well, how come they haven't found that body? How come they haven't left the island? How come they're not using technology to rescue themselves? So I think one of the things that really worked for me in this most recent season of Slasher was like, oh, David Cronenberg has just locked this motherfucking island down.
Yeah. It really feels like when writing the scripts, they were like, okay, what is an out people are going to come up with? Like, why don't they just do this? Let's address that right away.
Well, it's kind of funny because I know that we're also covering Midnight Mass this month, and that's another narrative that takes place on a remote, isolated island. And I'm just like, you know what? It's fine. Keep doing that because it makes sense for me. It's like either stick people in the woods with no cell reception or strand them on an island. That's fine. You don't need to do any more work than that.
It was late in the afternoon when the Professor and I took our way towards the east, whence I knew Jonathan was coming.
Jonathan Harker has asked me to note this, as he says he is hardly equal to the task, and he wants an exact record kept.
Dear Madam Mina, I have read your husband's so wonderful diary. Strange and terrible as it is true. I will pledge my life on it.
God preserve my sanity, for to this I am reduced. Safety and the assurance of safety are things of the past.
I am in hopes that I shall see more of you at Castle Dracula.
Listen to Regarding Dracula wherever you listen to podcasts, or find us online at bloody.fm.